Disclaimer, this podcast contains adult themes, adult dialogue, and spoilers. Our opinions are just that, opinions. We are not bashing any of the creators we discuss, and we are not bashing you if you perceive things differently than us. Listeners and viewer discretion is advised. Anna Fox has agoraphobia and is forced to stay inside. She's a child psychologist who has a psychiatrist trying to help her with these issues she wants to overcome. As mentioned by her psychiatrist, Anna's life is consumed by her people-watching habits through her window. Her life takes a turn for the worst when a family moves in across the street. Hello, welcome to this episode of Story and Things, our storytelling podcast. I'm your host, Cheli.
And I'm your host, Yajaira.
And we are going to be talking about a movie that is currently out on Netflix. Mm-hmm. When I watched it, I know it was trending number 3 in the US. You told me about it because you read the book before it became...
I don't know how I found this book, but I stumbled on it like months ago. Because I think I told you right after I read it. But it's very different from the Netflix show.
I know, but I feel like this is such a good thing to talk about, like such a good story to talk about. Mm-hmm. I was so into this movie.
So let's start by talking about the author. So his actual name is Daniel Mallory. He is an American editor and author who writes under the name A.J Finn. His novel came out in 2018 and it debuted at #1 on New York Times bestseller. Once
Good
again,
for him. Oh
I feel like we keep talking about New York Times bestsellers.
That freaking refrigerator at the New York Times bestseller office is just like a bunch of like, I feel like it would be like the cover of their books. And it's just all filled. And then like the workers there can never get to their food.
It's like a 1x1 inch little cover.
No, it's like the whole like it's like poster paper. It's like, who's printing these?
There's a lot. But
good for them, because I feel so strongly about this story. I thought it was really good. Mm-hmm. I don't think I talked about it much with you, about how I felt about it. Mm-mm. So it's going to be the first time we're actually talking about how we feel about it.
Yeah.
I actually don't know how you feel about it. I know a few things. But, I mean, why don't we talk about the characters?
Okay. So let's start with Anna Fox. So you kind of already told us in the hook, but she is a child psychologist who has agoraphobia, which is the fear of being outside. So she's stuck inside of her house and she knows everything about her neighbors because she's always watching them through her window. That's like her way of living.
I mean, she has nothing else to do.
Yeah, pretty much. And then she befriends one of her neighbors. His name is Ethan. And Ethan has a family. They're called the Russells. And they're actually recently moved in. Mm-hmm.
So
I should probably, they recently moved in, like, across. So it's, like, her window, and it's, like, apartments. And
yeah, it's, like, perfect for her to see because I think it's her room window. She lives in, like, a 3-story.
Yeah, she lives in a really nice house.
It's an apartment, but it's...
No, it's a house.
It's a house?
She has a house, but across is the apartments.
Okay, I get you. She has like perfect view of this new family and all of these families, because I'll be talking mostly about the Netflix series, but I really like how it showed just her looking through everyone's life. So it would like, this is the first window. It's the kid playing the trumpet. Yeah. Here's the second window. Here's the third window. And her just noticing the Russells moving in. Mm-hmm. Our second character is Ethan Russell, which is the son of the Russells. He's 15 years old. Mm-hmm.
And he's a little sensitive boy.
He is sensitive. He's really sweet. Yeah. And we're going to see that throughout the story because he visits her often. At least that's how it seemed in the movie. Was it the same in the book?
Yes. He's always there. And she's calling him too, so.
And I feel like let's talk about the story because these are our two main characters. Mm-hmm. There are other characters in the story, but this is who it centers around. I thought it was really sweet how the movie starts because it starts with her in her bed. I think it's in her bed, and she receives a phone call or is on a phone call.
We can only assume that she's on a call because she's definitely alone.
Yeah, exactly. And it's with her family. Mm-hmm. From the way it sounds like. It's her daughter, whose name is Olivia, Liv, and then her husband, who... At this point, I wasn't sure if they were divorced or not. Yeah. Because by the way he talked to her, it was so, like, affectionate. It was very,
It was so kind and amiable. You can only assume that whatever is going on between them, they're on good terms.
And her issue with her agoraphobia and not being able to go outside, he brings it up too, but is very like, oh, so how is there any progress? Have you done anything? And he's like very supportive. It's really sweet.
Yeah, he's trying to push her out of her comfort zone without being too abrasive.
Do you remember his name, her husband's name?
Yeah, Ed.
We're quickly taken into her life, which is in this house that looks so old, like not taken care of at all.
Yeah, it's a huge house, but she's a child psychologist, so she has money.
Yeah, she does have money. But I mean, who is she like helping right now? Because she's at home. She's doing online stuff.
In the movie, they alluded to her helping people online, but you see that more in the book. She's actually helping people online with agoraphobia, which is ironic.
Oh, that is ironic.
That's really ironic.
Oh my gosh.
Just go outside.
But I mean, you also see too, she has her own psychiatrist to help her with her own issues. And he prescribes her certain medicines, but she's like taking them, but also
drinking,
which is real bad.
Yeah.
She is constantly drunk.
She's always drinking wine, and it feels like for someone who never goes outside, she makes sure that she's stocked on wine. That's like her priority.
But I mean, I wonder how she gets it. Oh well, her landlord lives in the basement, which is another thing that's kind of brought up. Tenant, sorry. David Winter is her tenant that lives in the house with her. He was like the sweetest when he's introduced. At least I thought so.
Well, I don't think they try to perceive him as sweet. It's just helpful because she can't go outside, obviously. So he's the one who helps her around the house. And there's a moment when he's introduced where he goes to the 3rd floor, and on the rooftop there's a skylight, and he's like telling her like, oh, you really need to fix it because it can like break at any second. And she's like, oh yeah, sure, totally like brushing it off.
But he's out here being the handyman, doing like, I'm pretty sure he does the grocery shopping, all of that. I feel like he must, because I mean, but then she can't. She door dashes it.
I know. I think she does. I think she has like a grocery person drop it off for her. Yeah. From what I remember,
she is living this hell where she can't do much. And what her psychiatrist brings up is that most people who have agoraphobia try to live vicariously through others, which is her window watching habits. So basically stalking in a way. Like I said,
she has a camera and everything.
Yeah,
binoculars.
Yeah, exactly. She has binoculars, she has cameras, and she has a perfect view of across the street and all the windows where, you know, she can see everyone's lives. She knows it's weird. She doesn't like talking about it either, because when her psychiatrist wants her to open up.
Oh yeah, she tries to brush it off like, don't talk about that.
It's not stalking, it's people watching. Please say it right.
Get it right, okay? A lot of people do it. It's totally normal.
Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for her though, because you can tell that she is ashamed of not being able to go outside. Because there's one scene during Halloween where she like turns off all of her lights and she's like, I'm just gonna, you know, sleep it out.
Yeah, pretend like nobody's home. But before Halloween, she finally meets Ethan, which she had already known about them because she's watching them, right? And Ethan stops by, and like we said, he's a 15-year-old boy, so totally like sweet and innocent. And when she opens the door for him, she's very confused because she doesn't know how to handle the situation. It's taking her out of her comfort zone. And he's telling her like, oh, you want to let me in? Like, I brought you a housewarming gift. And she thought that was weird because he's the one that moved in.
So it should be the other way around.
Yeah, it should have been the other way around. And I don't really remember what the gift was, but I think it was like
a candle.
It was a candle, right? Yeah. Lavender. And so she eventually lets him in, and that's when they spark up a conversation. And he just seems so nervous.
Yes.
Because there's a moment where he looks outside of her window, the one where she watches all of the apartments, and she's like, oh, I can see my apartment from here. And then you just see a single tear roll down his face. Like, and she's a child psychologist, so of course she's like reaching.
You good?
Yeah, so she reaches for him to try to comfort him, I'm assuming. And he flinches.
Flinches.
And she's like, are you being hurt? Are you okay?
Yeah.
So,
But he avoids the question
Mhm.
because then I think he starts talking about something else, goes towards the cat, you know?
yeah, and starts playing with the cat, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm allergic, by the way."
And he's so sweet. You're automatically like, want to protect this child.
Yeah, and so does she. So, because
Mhm.
she even tells him like, "Oh, you can come whenever."
And she lends him movies and
Oh yeah, I
it's really
forgot about that.
cute.
Yeah.
Immediately after, which is when I was talking about Halloween.
Yes.
There
Halloween happens after.
Yeah, Halloween happens after, and she does not put any candy out because she just wants to sleep it off. And she hears kids knocking, kids
Thumping.
screaming.
It wakes her up because they're throwing things at the
Eggs.
door. Yeah.
Wasn't it eggs?
Yeah, but she hears the thumping. That's what wakes her up because I think she was like drunk.
Yeah, and
Pretty
it was
sure.
freaking her out.
Yeah.
And she decides, okay, if I get an umbrella, because it's something her psychiatrist had told her.
Yeah, that she can go outside and feel safe if she has an umbrella like hovering over her.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, it's kind of smart, right?
Yeah,
because
it
it's
is.
your own little space.
It is, and she tries it, but immediately when she goes outside, as soon as she opens the door, she like passes out.
Yeah, but then you see like a blonde lady, and then she's out.
Oh my gosh.
Lights out.
Imagine that's the last thing you see.
You-
A stranger and then you're gone.
She'd be like, "That Jesus?
Was that Jesus?
Hello?
God is a woman. Oh my gosh.
Ariana Grande.
I know.
She's
She was right. Oh my gosh, I should have believed her. But she wakes up and she's at home, and this blonde lady who she had seen last is just there and is
She's
like
vibing with her.
You good? Like
You
you were just kind of like
Didn't she say like you just kind of fainted? And she was like, I didn't faint. It's like,
Yeah.
You literally just
Yeah, you
did.
literally fainted. So I don't know why you're trying to lie. But when this lady comes in, she brings up Ethan. I think that's how they make the connection
Mm-hmm.
of the you must be Ethan's mom.
Oh no, she said you must be Jane Russell.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then
What makes you say that?
yeah, she answers, what makes you say that?
Jane.
So Jane is the one who saved her from those children, right?
Yes. Apparently. Did you save me? Where are the children? But
she does say that she like kicked them out.
yeah,
Didn't
she did help her and she got her back to her couch. And Jane is getting along with Anna Fox real well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cute. They're just like drinking buddies. They're like talking about their lives. And Alistair, which is Jane Russell's husband is
/ Ethan's father.
Is brought into the conversation only because Anna's being a little bit chismosita.
Well,
like,
because
she wants to know.
She wants to know the tea. And remember, when she met Ethan, he looked out the window with that single tear. So
yeah,
he wants to find out what is going on in that house.
Yeah, so she does bring it up, like, what's up with him? I mean, is there anything going on? Mm-hmm. And Jane does bring up that he's overbearing, that he's controlling,
mm-hmm.
but that's kind of all she brings up. And she does a subject change. And Anna notices, but is like not going to press on it too much. Mm-hmm. And then Jane asks, so why are you taking all these pills? Like, what's up with that?
She's like going through her pills.
Are you not supposed to be taking alcohol then? Because
oh yeah, because they're drinking wine. And she's just like, you shouldn't be mixing. And she's just like drinking
Anna's
at the same time.
Oh, nice candle that you brought me. And it's like, okay, fine. We won't talk about that either. But they're getting along just fine. It's cute because the way that they're sitting, they're like on a stool, like the standing tables, you know, in the kitchen.
And it looks like the kitchen island, maybe.
Yeah. And it's both of them sitting in a chair. And then there's a third chair for Anna's cat, Punch.
Oh,
and Anna gets her phone and just takes a picture of Punch. Mm-hmm. And it's just so cute. It's like a very tender moment that they're getting along. So while they're drinking, from what I remember, I don't know if it's different in the book, there's a point where Jane starts talking about Ethan. And is like, oh, he's so sweet. He's so sweet.
He's such a
Look
sweet
at my
boy.
drawing of him. And it's very like an angelic type of drawing where it's like her with like, what is it called? A crown. Kind of like a halo. It looks more like a crown. And her holding Ethan, and he's like a shining baby. She's like, oh, look at me and my son. Look at us. We look so good.
We look sick.
Oh my gosh.
I don't really remember that part, but I believe it. Also, we should also mention that Jane has seemed a little unstable since the very beginning.
How does she leave again? Because I just wrote Jane leaves.
I think she just leaves. So the next day, Alistair Russell pops up into Anna Fox's home. So he knocks and what are you laughing?
It's because I was watching this movie really fast. I was watching it in 3 times speed.
Oh my god.
Because I hate sitting through things like for long periods of time.
You liar.
No,
I watch movies.
Yeah, I know, but I was getting very impatient. So I watched it in 3 times speed.
The suspense was killing you.
Alistair just comes in and is like, have you seen my family?
Oh, sorry.
Standing like an iPad kid. He was like, do you know what that is?
No.
I'll show you later.
Okay.
But he was just standing at the door. He's like, have you seen my son and my wife?
No.
Yes,
he says, has my family been here?
Yes.
Because he doesn't specify.
Oh, you're right. Has my family been here?
Have you seen my family? Have they been here? And at first she lies. At first she's like, no, of course not.
Yeah, because she was trying to protect whatever she thought might have been going on.
With Ethan, yeah, because she assumed that he was overbearing. But eventually she does cave in because she's like, thanks for the candle.
By the way, thanks for the candle that your wife
gave to Ethan because Ethan dropped it off. But I mean, that was it though. That was it.
By the way, this man is the most like prestigious looking man that I've ever seen.
He looks like he has his life together.
He does. So that's kind of weird that there's like this like insinuation that he might be something else.
He might be abusing his son.
But I believed it. When I saw that man, I was like, he's
looks
evil. Yeah, he's evil. He came to visit her in a full-ass suit.
I don't think he ever takes off that suit, so he's just
always... his only suit.
Just one outfit, and that's it. So one night, I think it's pretty soon after. So basically, she is taking her medication, and she's drinking a lot. And it sort of starts feeling like a fever dream.
And it's so scary the way it's, like, shown in the movie.
Just like the sequence of events.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but anytime she's going through like her episodes where she's incredibly drunk, which is the whole movie, she like the lighting turns red. Like it's very like and then, such a bad mental place to be.
Yes, that, and then every time that she's about to wake up, we see snow falling. And that's it.
Yeah.
But on one night, when Anna is sleeping, she wakes up in the middle of the night because there's a really loud scream. She doesn't know what that's from, but she assumes that it's from the Russells' home because she's like looking out the window and she's like, what's going on? And she sees that they're like arguing.
So it's, okay, just to clarify, it's Alistair and Jane arguing from what she sees.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Jane arguing from what she sees.
She dials the, I think she dials the apartments because she wants to get into contact with that apartment number. Which, how does she know the number? Anyway, whatever. Details. So
and is that when she sees?
Not yet.
Okay.
So she calls them and Ethan answers and he's crying. Or at least he's freaked out from what I remember. And she's just like, is everything okay? What's happening? I heard a scream. And he's just trying to push it off. Like, no, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. And he hangs up, but she calls again. And Alistair answers. And he basically is trying to push it off because he sounds really angry. Yeah. And he's just like, why are you calling? And she's like, I heard a scream. And he's like, there was no scream. There's nobody here. And he just like hangs up on her. But she's like really agitated because she knows that something is going on.
Yes. And
then she grabs her camera and she hella zooms in. And so she's trying to see what's going on because of course, so chismes, you know, she wants that gossip. And so she like zooms in and she's looking at the house. This is the moment where she sees Jane get stabbed and she sees a knife in her stomach and there's blood everywhere. And she's obviously freaking out. So she drops the camera, runs to her landline and tries calling the police, but it doesn't go through.
And she had previously lost her cell phone. So she like goes to her bed and I don't know the English word for it, sacudirs her bed with the sábana.
She's just rummaging through her comforter.
Yes. And her phone pops out and she grabs it and is like, oh my gosh, 911. I like this scene because as soon as she finds her cell phone, she calls 911 and it's the most useless call.
It's so frustrating.
Because she is freaking out, obviously, and she's like, my neighbor just got stabbed. It's like, okay, she's at this address, they just got stabbed. What address? This address.
Your address?
Wait, who are you? Wait,
Yeah.
where am I? Wait.
And I think she had already been drinking, so I think she was kind of slurring her words a little bit. So the operator was like, Are you?
Even the operator at one point says, "Did you kill your neighbor?"
Mm-hmm. Was it you?
Because it sounds like the way that she says it.
Yeah.
Is like, oh, she's across the street, but I heard her scream.
Mm-hmm.
But she has blood. But I saw this.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's a little weird.
And it's like just very eerie the way that she says it, right? She's like, did you do it?
And this part is so sad because she's like, okay, I need to go help Jane. I'm going to go help Jane. I'm going to go help. And she keeps repeating it.
And so she grabs the umbrella and she opens it. And so she's like going outside finally for the first time. Yeah. Because she wants to somehow save Jane.
Yeah. And she does go outside. Mm-hmm. She like makes it outside and is like, I'm going to save Jane. I'm going to save Jane.
Just keep going. Keep going.
What stops her again? You
just see headlights from a car and then it just blacks out.
Yeah. Felt like
I think she had another panic attack, though. I don't think the car hit her.
No, I don't think the car hit her either. It felt like it did, but it was just her, probably the car just going 5 miles an hour. Like he's just like, ooh, sorry, ma'am. And she's like, like completely gone.
I think she was already going to pass out, though, for being outside.
But when she wakes up.
When she wakes up, everybody is in her house.
A lot of people she doesn't know. Yeah. And can I introduce...
Go ahead.
The lady I hate the most. Her name is Detective Norelli. Mm-hmm. And she, like, when Anna wakes up is like, you called about someone dying? Where are they?
Where is the body?
And she's like, oh, it's over... What?
Let me just add really quickly. So we didn't bring this up, but earlier in the movie, she does call the police, remember? Because David was in the kitchen and she thought she was home alone. So she immediately calls the police and she's like telling them, I think someone's in my house. I think someone's in my house. Mm-hmm. So Detective Norelli knows about this. And so she already is assuming that she's just a paranoid person.
Yeah. And they do know her history. They know that she has agoraphobia and like has all these issues. So it's kind of like, how did you even know that this happened?
Yeah.
But it's not only Detective Norelli. We also have Officer Little, who is also an officer working on the case, who is just trying to make sense of what's going on. And then we also have Alistair.
Alistair Russell is there too. Yeah. Which, why would they let him in?
I know. Okay, there's a lot of scenes like this one that we're expecting. And Alistair just seems like they're like, yeah. Why are you looking through my window?
She starts accusing him of stabbing Jane.
And that he's like a horrible father. He abuses his child.
Abuses his wife.
Yeah, and I saw it. He does bring up, because she's saying like, I knew Jane and I knew Ethan. And I was like, but I came over to your house and you said you never met my family. And then she's like, yeah, I was lying. And then everyone's
you're
like,
right.
That doesn't make you look good.
Yeah.
Why would you lie?
Yeah, because the way that she does is so like confident, like,
yeah, I'm a liar. Try to catch me.
And they were like, ooh.
You won't. I'll lie about it.
Queen.
But
you're right. I forgot about that.
Everything looks completely bad for Anna. And
she's not helping herself either because she's speaking so frantically. So, of course, they're already assuming that she's just an unreliable source. So, and this is the moment where Alistair Russell tells her that she has never met Jane Russell. And she's just like, hello, we were drinking together. Hello.
Because it was like, you've never met Jane. Because Jane is right here. And then like, there's just another blonde lady who's just like, yes, I'm Jane. It is me.
It is I, Jane Russell.
And Anna just like, oh, she's like, that ain't Jane, that ain't Jane. Are you the one who joked with me and drank with me? No.
I don't think so.
That's not Jane. That's not Jane.
So, again, she's very, very frantic. So the officer and the detective are just staring at her like, well, we checked her out. Like, she is Jane Russell. I don't know what to tell you.
But then you look to the back and behind all these people. It's funny because it feels like it's like the detective and officer, and then behind them is Alistair. And then behind them is new Jane 2.0. And then behind them is Ethan.
And he's like cowering behind a wall, but Anna Fox can still see him.
Yeah, and Anna's like, you need to help me.
Tell them the truth.
This isn't your mom. Like, this isn't Jane. Please tell him that. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's my mom.
Yeah, you've
when
never
it's
met
obviously another blonde lady. She's just like, why are you protecting him?
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Oh, and does he say I can't tell you? No, he doesn't make it.
No.
He makes it very believable that, like, this is mom.
This is my
this
mom.
This is Jane. But, yeah, she's just so, like, confused with the whole situation.
So throughout this movie, there are sporadic scenes where she's having more conversations with her husband and daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll just be like little things. Like she'll be telling them about what's happening. And Ed will be like, oh, you got this. You keep going.
Yeah. Oh my God. He's so sweet.
Yeah.
He's so sweet. He's such a sweet husband. And the daughter, too, is just so, like...
Mm-hmm.
It's, like, the happiness that she needs to keep going. And she's just so invested in this, like, I need to figure out what's going on with the Russells. She gets her camera, and she's watching them all the time.
Oh,
she's not recording, but she's just watching. Like, she has it pointed at the cameras of them eating, and then, like, them doing this, them doing that. And at one point, you see Jane 2.0 get up and call someone, and then her phone rings.
Yeah.
And then Jane 2.0 is like, stop looking at us. And then it's like,
she closes the curtains.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think she even, like, hides. She's like, oh my gosh, she knows.
Yeah. And it's, like, scary because it's so eerily, like, nothing's wrong.
Yeah, they're acting like everything's fine because they were having dinner too.
Mm-hmm, all together.
We forgot to mention that when she witnessed the murder, they asked her, why didn't you take a picture if you had a camera? Do you remember that?
It wasn't the right lighting, Norelli.
It wasn't the right time.
Would you take a picture if it didn't follow the rules of three? You're obviously an idiot.
You're not a photographer.
I know.
Oh my God.
And Norelli's like, oh, okay. I mean...
You're the professional, not me. So then she starts to investigate Alistair Russell. And she finds out that he actually moves a lot. And she finds out that one of his old coworkers died by jumping off a building. And she just thinks it's a little sus.
Yeah,
right?
because it was someone who worked directly close with him.
Mm-hmm.
And so she calls the company where this person who had died used to work at. And is like, I'm just doing, like, a little background check. I'm a background checker. You know, just, like, a little background checker.
Yeah, and I was just like, these conversations are not even believable.
No, it's not. She's like, so tell me about this lady.
And they're like, who are you?
Yeah, she's gone. Like, why do you want to know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where she figures out that she had jumped off.
Yeah, doesn't she see the news clipping too, though?
Mm-hmm. But it's scary. Alistair's looking sus.
A little sus, yeah.
Ethan shows up and she confronts him and is like, why are you protecting him? What's going on?
Why are you lying?
But Ethan is, like, completely, like, wrecked. He's like, I can't tell you what's going on.
We can't talk about it, okay?
And then Alistair walks in, punches Ethan.
Oh my God, that part was so sad. He just straight up
punches him. Yeah. And then is like...
And even, like, Anna is, like, holding her own cheek because she felt that. She felt that impact.
God, you're right. And Alistair just turns, and he's, remember, a proper guy, and just looks at her and goes like,
wearing
his suit with the wrong family.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He also says, leave him alone. He's a 15-year-old boy.
It's weird.
You're a grown woman. Yeah. And then he does say, you fucked with the wrong family, but he also says, like, just leave us alone, but it almost sounds like pleading.
Yeah, it's weird because, I don't know, it's like he doesn't want her to figure out whatever's going on. Yeah. But in, like, a way that it's not just him. Like, it's something else deeper than that.
Yeah.
It starts getting really weird for her.
Yeah, so one night she's watching a movie, drinking, took her pills, whatever. And then she gets an email that says, guess who, Anna? And
I like the way this is shot in the movie because she opens the email and it says, guess who, Anna? It was written by someone who was called Guess Who, Anna.
Yeah.
And she opens it.
It's an image, but it's, like, taking forever to load.
So she, like, walks over to grab something and the image is loaded.
She looks at her cat. And her cat's paw is broken.
Oh, yeah. Her cat's paw is broken. I was like,
oh, yeah, she has a cat.
What happened to you?
Punch, yeah.
Punch.
yeah.
And so she walks over to her cat and looks at it. And while she's over there, the way that the camera's shooting the scene is you can see
the picture.
The picture, and it's her asleep.
Yeah.
Which she was just in that position.
So when she sees the image, she freaks out and she immediately calls the police.
Mm-hmm.
And the police, I mean, they're never really that helpful.
God, it's so annoying when they're there. So and it's not because there's two, it's Detective Norelli and Officer Little. Mm-hmm. And Officer Little really feels bad.
Yeah, and he's like obviously more gentle with her because he knows of her mental issues.
And he even says like,
if you need anything,
just call me. You know. But Detective Norelli is like, how do we know you didn't send yourself a picture?
Yeah, so they're basically assuming that she just took this picture on her own and sent it to herself. And Anna is obviously offended. She's just like, no, I would never do that. Why would I do that? It's stupid.
So then it's like, okay, who else would take a picture of you? Is there anyone else who lives with you? And then you see David walk in, and he's like, hey, what's up?
Hey, guys. But he was gone. The Russells show up, too.
Why are they there? They show up.
Because she's been snooping.
Oh, yes. Okay. I just want to bring up, this scene is so funny because David is there and he's like, my name's David Winter without an S, you know, and then Alistair comes in and he's like, what are you doing? And it's like, who let you in?
Exactly.
That part was really funny to me.
For such a nice house, she has no
There's
locks.
There's no locks. I know. They're just big holes where doors used to be. But like, he comes in and is like, you've been snooping and now like I lost my job. Mm-hmm. So how are we going to pay bills? Child psychologist?
Pay up, friend. Yeah, so it gets really awkward because she starts accusing everybody at this moment. So she starts accusing him of doing something shady. She's like, oh, why did this person die at your old job? Why did you move here? Blah, blah, blah. And so once...
I just wanted to bring up, she's accusing all of this, but she's still so hung up on Jane 2.0, who's just literally just standing there. And she goes like, I can prove to you guys that there's another Jane. There has to be a way to prove this. She brings up a drawing that Jane had done. Mm-hmm. The drawing of the heavenly child, which was Ethan. Mm-hmm. And she's like, look at this. It's the other Jane. You didn't draw this. Other Jane drew this.
So, so this is her proof, which, again, everyone just assumes that, you did
it makes drawing. Her look really bad.
It makes her look a little crazy, unfortunately. But once they kind of, like, try talking her down and stop accusing Alistair, she starts accusing David because she kind of has to shift her focus elsewhere. And they never showed this part. But she brings up that she found earrings in his bedroom.
They did bring it up in the movie, but very,
It was like vague. Yeah. It was super vague. Because she would sometimes snoop down there. At least it showed it like once.
Yeah, because those earrings, she recognized them from Jane was wearing them.
Yeah.
And she's like, why were they down there?
I saw these earrings. Why were they there? And he's like, that was from Catherine. She's trying to shift the focus on him, and I don't know what else she starts accusing him of, but it's a long list.
Yeah, and she's just throwing all of this together.
So she is losing it a little bit, and I actually really did like this scene because it's focused on her.
Because, the way that everyone always stands when these conversations are being had is like
kind of awkward.
It is because they're standing in like a way that's like a triangle pointing directly at her.
Almost like they're lining up towards her.
To roast her. They're always like, go.
Next.
I know. But she's just standing at the end, and I like the way it's shot too because I told you, and we can talk more about this when we talk about our personal thoughts. So my girl Anna be looking like my boy Jesus.
A little.
And if you know Jesus, some may call him a wise man, some may call him a preacher. But when he's preaching, he always has his hands out. Mm-hmm. And when she starts accusing David for like knowing Jane 1.0, original Jane. And then Alistair for being the reason that his old assistant at an old job had died. Mm-hmm. She backs up and is like, you guys are here in my home, home. I'm telling the truth. Yesterday, and she like starts like fumbling her words, like, no, not yesterday. No, yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
And it starts feeling like, even me at that point, I'm like,
I was so uncomfortable.
yeah, and like, oh, you're not making yourself look good. I can't even believe you right now because it sounds weird.
Yeah. So she looks at Officer Little and she tells him, "You're a father. You should want to help the boy who's being hurt, which is Ethan." And she says, "If my husband were here, he would help."
And Detective Norelli is just so, like, blunt about it.
So cold-hearted.
Because she just says, Anna, your family's dead. They've been dead.
Been dead this whole time. Sorry, friend. And like we said earlier, you know how she would always see snow falling before she would wake up? That has to do with how she lost her family. And
this scene is shot so well because she's taken back to the day she loses her family, which is just in a drive. They were driving to a vacation. Like, they were going to go out on a family trip.
Yeah, it was for Christmas, and it was hella snowing.
And Anna was driving, like, 150 on a 20. She was going so fast. Yeah. And she was talking to her daughter, Olivia, in the back, like, what would you name a moose if, you know, it's like silly, quirky things.
Yeah.
Or what would you name a horse? And whatever.
She said, like, horse or something like that.
So funny. Just the funniest. And it's, like, really awkward because you can see Ed is visibly uncomfortable. And Ed's like, I can't do this.
Yeah, Ed sort of breaks. He's just like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Like, they're literally on the way to their vacation. He's just like, I can't do this anymore. We're lying. Because they were trying to hold out on their relationship until after the holiday, so Liv would have a good time.
Yes, and it's revealed here that the strain in Ed and Anna's relationship was that Anna was in an affair with a random person.
Yeah.
And it's so, like, badly timed because while he's saying, like, this is horrible, why did we even think about going to this vacation? Anna's phone, which is on the little, like, holder for your phones in cars, goes off, and it's like an restricted unknown number. And Ed's like, oh, that's him, isn't it? That's him calling.
Just answer it. Just answer it.
Answer. And she reaches for the phone, which ends up falling.
No, he tries to answer it.
Oh, yes.
And so they start fighting over the phone, and it falls to the back seat. I don't know why.
She, like, reaches back while she's still driving on the freeway.
In snow.
And by the way, the way it looks is literally you only see snow and pure darkness. And, like, maybe the few first feet in front of you. But while she's reaching for her phone, I think she ends up grabbing it, but she immediately
drives off a cliff.
She was driving straight towards an edge. And it's horrible. Like, they completely, like, flip over. And when she wakes up, she realizes Ed and Liv, who are just, like, unconscious. They still look
alive.
Yeah, they still looked alive. I thought they had died. But when you told me in the book,
I'm assuming that Liv was still alive. I think Ed died on impact because there was a scene where she was trying to put ice in her lips to have her drink water.
It's such a mom thing.
It's such a mom thing to do. It's so cute. Well, sad,
it's
but
like
cute.
Cute because it's like you're just trying to help your daughter.
Yeah. But in the movie, it only showed as that moment, right? In the book was so heartbreaking because they spent 3 nights there in the ice and Ed was gone, but Liv was still holding on to life. And I remember there was a scene where she kept trying to call anybody, but there was no reception down there. And then I remember she tried feeding her a sandwich and it just... I don't remember exactly how they were finally found, but eventually they were found and they were both gone. Which kind of sucks that, you know, she survived and her family didn't.
And she saw them slowly, well, at least her daughter slowly die.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Poor Liv.
Yeah, which is now the reason her agoraphobia, you know.
Started. Yeah, that's the reason why it started.
We're taken back to her being in her living room where everyone's looking at her. She's had her flashback.
Oh, the way they're staring at her is so uncomfortable.
Oh my God, I hate Norelli so much because it's like, your family's dead, your family... Anna, your
Anna, hello. Let me
family's
say it again. They're
dead.
dead, girl.
DEAD. Do you need me to spell it out for you? I have their death certificates. Come on. Anna starts walking forward, like past them. And they're just looking at her walk away. And the scene of the crashed car is just in front of her now.
Yeah, so it's like it's in her house now.
Yeah, so
which
looks
really cool.
It does look really cool. It's very aesthetics. But it's like snowing in her house, and she sees like the broken car. And now at this point, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, she is crazy. She apologizes, which is so sad because she's just so like broken. Like
she's so defeated.
She just figured out again that her family died.
Yeah.
Like it's like reliving that, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry that I brought you all here. I'm not mentally sound, and I don't know what's real, what's fake.
Yeah, because those pills and that wine don't be mixing well. So she decides to clean herself up.
Oh my god. And they all leave. It's so awkward. Alistair's just like, yeah.
Got served.
If I was 1 centimeter closer, you'd be dead.
Oh my god.
But like everyone leaves, and even Officer Little kind of just like, if you need anything, I'm here for you. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. Do you need me to... Does he offer to stay? I don't remember.
No.
He's very warm towards her.
The nicest one to her.
Yeah, but it's so sad because the next day, I didn't get this part at first. I didn't get what she was doing. She set up her cell phone.
Well, first, she has a session with her psychiatrist. He is kind of like, oh, yeah, I told you not to take wine or drink wine. And she starts to make it sound like, oh, I'm gonna be better now. I'm gonna do better. Everything's gonna be okay. But then when he leaves, she takes all of her pills and crushes them on the counter.
Which when I saw that, my one brain cell, I feel like it's shrinking. Because when I saw that, I was like, oh, hell yeah, she's gonna start putting them in her drinks. Hell yeah, like, in water, she'll put like a little like dose, like what she
just
needs.
One dose, yeah.
Yeah. But she puts them all in a huge tin can, and I'm like, okay, a little different queen, but
Okay, so she is drinking again, and she has her phone propped up, and she starts taking a video,
which is really scary the way it's shot, because it's like it's her phone in the front and her just sitting in the back, and she was like, hi, my name is Anna Fox. I'm this years old.
She's doing a vlog.
I know. Hi, guys.
Welcome to our channel. Thank you.
I'm gonna make slime. But also, my name's Anna Fox. And she, like, talks about kind of her life, like, what's gone on so far. Like, I have a husband, I have a daughter, and they're both dead. And it's because of me. And, there's been, like, oh, God, I already forgot how she said it. A lot of super significant things in my life. And then she's like, super. Fuck. And then she like refilms like, okay, my name is Anna Fox.
I don't even think she refilms. I think she just starts over.
It's
just one whole video.
Oh, you're right. She just keeps trying to like fix it. And it's so like, oh my God, I didn't understand what she was doing at this point. Did you, when it came up in the...
Yeah, this was her goodbye video.
Yeah, she was doing
Yeah. She was like, final sleep.
I think it's the next day, like she goes to sleep and she's just laying in her bed and she's looking through her photos because she's completely given up on the whole Jane 2.0 and everything that.
Because she just believes that she just imagined everything.
And there's no such thing as a Jane 1.0. No original Jane. There's only one Jane.
There's only one Jane.
And she's looking through her photos and she sees the photo that she had taken of Punch, her cat, when she hung out with Jane 1.0.
Yeah.
And she realizes that in the photo, her wine glass is actually in the shot. And she zooms in and sees a reflection of Jane 1.0.
Yeah.
And that part like clicks in her and she's like, I'm not crazy.
Exists.
I'm not crazy. And so David comes home and she's like, oh my God, she's real. Is this the girl that
Yeah, but also David is leaving.
So David is also...
He's gonna move out.
I mean, it is kind of uncomfortable after someone tells you you're a murderer.
Yeah. She did apologize. She said, oops, sorry.
Oops, sorry, but is this the Catherine that you were talking about? And it's like, yeah, that's her.
He doesn't really understand what she's talking about, though, because he doesn't make the connection.
No.
But then eventually he says, that's Catherine. She's crazy. We had a one-night thing.
She
It
cried a
meant
lot.
nothing to me. That's Ethan's biological mom. But she's like, I think she's a former drug addict, but still kind of unhinged.
Yeah.
And he tells her, like, she had to give him up because she was so unhinged. And she's like, what the heck? Wait, so I guess that wasn't Jane.
Yes.
It's Catherine. She wants him to speak for her because nobody believes her.
Yes.
So she's asking him like, oh, well, we got to go tell somebody. And he's just like, nah. So he goes down to the basement and then you just hear him grunt.
And it's like, in the fall.
And she's like, hello?
Did you trip?
Did you trip?
Did you trip? You loser! It's like, goes off on him.
Oh my
no,
God.
but she hears a trip.
And she walks towards the stairs, and literally from the door, not in the basement, but like on the side beside the basement, Ethan pops up, and because he sneezes.
Yes.
He sneezes, and he's like, because the cat's right there.
Yes.
Ethan.
He ain't looking so hot. He's usually that like very sensitive looking boy who's like,
just like
small, trying to make himself small.
Single tear.
And he looks completely different. Like the way he stands, what he's wearing, he's like in a gray, like
hoodie.
sweat. Yeah, gray hoodie.
Gray.
Sorry, in a gray hoodie. He's holding a knife. Niles.
Oh my God, I told you. That was your first guess, too.
Yeah, Niles is like, it's Ethan, but now I don't think it is. Well, we're not there yet, Niles.
I mean, there could be someone else.
Yeah, because he's holding a knife, but he's just kind of like, oh my God, you killed David.
Yeah, he's trying to tell her, like, nobody else is in this house, so you killed David. He's like, I'm supposed to be out of town, so how could I be here?
Yeah, and then she, like, freaks out and was like, how did you even get in here? And it's like, well, I mean, you don't hide your key that well.
He's like, I just took your key when you were drunk one night, and he's had it this whole time. And he even tells her, like, oh, I've been coming here, like, every night.
Oh, yeah.
So when she loses things, even the viewer, we all assume that it's because she was drunk, but he's actually been moving her stuff.
When they're talking, he's just kind of like, oh my gosh, it was just like such a joy to be around you. You're very different.
Oh, yeah. He's like, you've been so fun.
Yeah, like, I thought you would get it by now that I'm like, not here, but you didn't even guess.
Yeah.
And you're a child psychologist.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, she starts to connect it. Like, you and Nancy. Did you have something to do with Nancy? And it's like, oh, that was my first.
Nancy, my
yeah, and feel really bad about it. Like, he got bored of her.
Yeah.
Like, he feels bad about her, but like, I got bored.
And then he does say that the best part is seeing it in their face, because he even tells her, like,
I like to be there when it happens.
Yeah, because then he starts telling her, like, oh, but you can continue. Like, I'll just watch. But then she also asks him about Catherine. And it's revealed that he feels this anger towards her because she wasn't even a part of his life. She preferred drugs and whatever. And then he also reveals that he blames David too, because he was like, oh, she could have just left, but of course he had to sleep with her, and he ruined everything too.
So that's why he killed his own
mother.
Yeah, because she was going to leave eventually.
Yeah. She would have left sooner had it not been for David.
Yeah.
So he says that, and then he wants to watch her kill herself.
He's not even going to do it. He's just going to watch.
Yeah.
So Anna's like, okay, you want to watch? Fine. And she gets her tin and her wine glass and just puts all of the pill powder in there and takes a sip. And Ethan is coming closer to just like get a closer look.
Yeah.
And she grabs the bottom of her wine glass and just smacks him with it. And
she sprints.
Yeah, she sprints. And he tumbles over. She's sprinting away. And she's like hella fast. But she slips over all of the pool of blood left from David's body.
Yeah.
And she's like disgusted.
And then she sees David too. That's a little confusing though, because she's going up.
No, she was going like out. That was her plan to not go out. I think she was going down the corridor. And she sees David, who, by the way, isn't dead. He's still alive. He's still like kind of like
clinging.
sputtering. Yeah. You see Ethan turn the corner and going towards her.
He's chasing after her, and then David grabs him.
David grabs his leg to try to, do something.
To help somehow.
Somehow. And Anna turns around because she starts hearing just the sound of a knife stabbing continuously. And she just runs up the stairs because she can't do anything. Mm-hmm. And she gets to the very, very top.
To the rooftop.
And the outside.
Yeah. She's outside now.
Yeah, she doesn't hesitate. Does she?
No.
I don't think she does it pretty quick. Yeah. She opens the outside and it's raining outside. Mm-hmm. And she goes in between. Is it garden stuff or is it?
Yeah, she has her own little garden up top. Mm-hmm. And we said there's also a skylight there too, but she's trying to hide in the garden. And at this point, Ethan's chasing after her. Oh, and it was really gross.
It was gross because in the fight he had the thing used to grab dirt.
Yeah.
From the floor, the huge metal thing. And
really pointy.
Yeah, and he has no hesitation with hurting her. This movie is very unforgiving because he just grabs it and slices her across the cheek and it just goes inside. It gets
stuck in her face.
Yeah, it gets stuck in her face.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Does he pull it out? No, I don't think.
No, I don't remember.
But it's a very gory fight.
Yeah.
And they're both struggling with each other.
Yeah, they're fighting. And Ethan grabs her and he's trying to lead her to the edge of the rooftop to throw her out, kind of like how he did with Nancy.
To make it, yeah.
Yeah, but they passed the skylight. And like we said earlier, she never fixed it. So she pushes him on top of the skylight and literally pushes him down.
She starts smacking him on it. You can see her yeah, and as soon as it sounds like it's getting loose, she does one final smack, moves out of the way, and Ethan just falls down through the skylight, down the 3 stories inside of the building, and
he's dead. So.
He's dead. He dies. And yeah, and Anna turns around. She's looking up while the rain is falling on her.
And it just feels like a liberating moment for her.
It does. And she falls asleep. She passes out. Again, it's her thing.
She loves to pass out. Well, when she wakes up, though, she's at the hospital.
Yeah, she's at the hospital.
With Officer Little. Oh, and he's like, ooh, my bad friend. I guess you weren't lying.
I just wrote, he's like, oof, we messed up hella bad. Sorry. That makes me so angry. That makes me angry that they did not believe her at all.
I feel like it would have been better if Norelli was the one to offer an apology because she was so mean. But yeah, essentially, he also tells her that the Russells are in custody and they're questioning them. And Alistair isn't really saying much, but Jane is spilling. And then they found Catherine's body too, which I forgot where it was, but it was somewhere.
Yep.
And he tells her, by the way, saw your vid, wasn't a fan.
And she freaks out wait, you saw my video? Has anyone else seen it? And it's well, the funny thing is we can't seem to locate your cell phone, which he was holding. And he's so they're going to come in here in an hour saying a lot of apologies to you. But if you want to clear anything on your phone before we pick it up, you can go ahead and do that.
So he's telling her, delete it, bitch. Yeah. But, I mean, I feel like they can find it, though. So.
I know. It's in her recently deleted.
Exactly. She forgot that one step.
Okay, but Niles, you look a little confused.
Why would she want to delete it?
She didn't want people to know that she was going to try to...
Because then they would lock her up in a mental hospital, wouldn't they? They would lock you up for 72 hours.
Oh, yeah, for China.
Yeah, for China.
Okay.
Yeah. So then essentially time passes. I'm assuming months pass, right? Because now her whole house is cleared out.
Yep.
And she just grabs her luggage.
And she looks like a queen, by the way. She looks so good. She's not wearing her Jesus robe anymore.
No. She's jeans on.
Yeah.
So.
And she, it's like you said, it's cleared out. And she grabs Punch, who's in a little...
Oh, yeah, Punch. I forgot about him.
Cat carrier.
Uh-huh.
And she just walks out. And gets in a taxi.
She goes outside, no hesitation.
So Anna just moves out and she moves on.
She moves on with her life, and that's it. That's pretty much the end of the movie.
Oh my God. This movie was a freaking trip. I had no idea what it was about. I did not read the synopsis.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't?
No, I just watched it.
Oh.
Because you told me it was good, and I was like, okay, Woman in the
It's-
Window?
Woman in the Window.
Hell yeah, let's watch it.
I know,
And it was a trip.
It was a trip, yeah. When I read the book, I was like so confused. I was like, is she crazy? Am I crazy? What's happening here? Yeah, it was crazy. But I do want to bring up, listen,
Okay.
I know we're talking about the movie, but you should read the book, okay?
I know, I really want to.
I hated Ethan's reveal in the movie. I felt like his reveal was so lame.
He just walks in.
He sneezes in, whatever. So the way that Ethan is revealed to be the, the killer in the movie, when she's talking to David about Catherine, that doesn't happen in the book. She doesn't really talk to David that much about Catherine. So David actually does move on. David lives in the book. And in the book, he reveals himself in a very subtle way, because remember in that scene where she finds the picture and we know that Punch's paw is broken?
Yeah.
So one night when she's talking to Ethan, she's telling him what is going on with your family, and he tells her like, oh, it's my dad. Yeah, it's my dad. He's the one that's behind all this. And so she's telling him like, we can go to the police together. I'll help you. I'll be there with you. And he's like, yeah, totally down. Just give me a day. Okay, give me a day. He comes back and he's like, oh, by the way, how's Punch's paw? And she's like, Punch's paw? How did you know about his paw? And he's like, because I come here every night. And she's just like, what? I thought you went home. And he's like, I did, but then I came back here because I come here a lot. I love it here. And he tells her, I have to tell you, I've met a lot of psychologists, and you're the first who hasn't diagnosed me with the personality disorder. I guess you're not the world's best shrink. And he says, you interest me though. You do. That's why I keep coming back to you, even when I knew I shouldn't. Older women interest me. Oh my God.
That's a better reveal.
Yeah, and then so he tells her about Katie. He says he used a letter opener on her. He says, because she wouldn't leave me alone. I told her so many times, and she just wouldn't stop, kind of like you. Yeah, so he basically just outs himself.
Yeah.
She figures it out through Ethan, because Ethan just reveals himself to her. I guess the way they did it in the Netflix movie was more dramatic because he also kills David. So,
but I would have liked that, her piecing it together instead of it just being revealed to her.
yeah.
Oh my God, that's so much better. Even if that difference, is there. Overall, oh my God.
Well, this was your first watch, so.
Yeah, I don't really watch these types of movies. I
Yeah.
don't really like watching, well, I don't know. It's not that I don't like to, but I don't avidly search for
What, mysteries?
mysteries or like anything that's like suspense and thriller.
I really liked it.
I loved it. I really like when movies don't have a clear like path that the audience has to follow. Like
Yeah.
it's based on like your perception of things. And oh my god.
But our narrator was so unreliable that, we start to think, oh, she's actually crazy. So
Because she's flawed. She has her
Yeah.
own flaws. I like that she has like so much stuff going on because when she, is trying to explain herself, I feel like I'm in that same position with her where it's like, okay, wait, I do believe. Wait, no, I don't believe. No, wait, no, that's not real. Wait, this is real. And it's like
you feel like you're
damn.
going crazy with her.
Yeah. You don't know what to believe. I love, though, her resolve at the end, too. Like, I love her, like, oh, hell yeah. I solved a murder case, and I'm that bitch that goes outside. Oh, my God. Let's go, Punch.
Yeah. Puts him in a little cage. Vamonos.
Can I read what I wrote?
Yeah.
Because I put, love her resolve, TBH, as everyone around her is the idiot. She's just ready to move on. I love that the most sound person was the one who was
perceived as crazy.
Oh my God.
I love that too.
Yes.
It's really good.
I hope Detective Norelli has a bad day.
I hope Detective Norelli actually apologized.
By the way, very, very off topic. Detective Norelli is the one who was taking care of Punch while she was at the hospital. It's very weird to bring up, but like,
Why?
you keep your hands off of my beautiful cat. His name is Punch for a reason.
I know he punches you, okay?
Oh my god.
That's weird.
I gave this story, I put a lower score. I give it a 3.5.
Okay.
I think this was a solid mystery. I've never read mysteries avidly, and I think I would be down to read some.
Yeah, I actually really love mysteries.
I know you do.
I love them
oh
a
my
lot.
God.
So I think it's a little different for me, my experience than yours, because I
Yeah.
read the book first. And I think it's kind of annoying, right? When people say, oh, the book was better. It's a little annoying, but the book is better. So
So shut up.
So shut up. I don't know what to tell you. I just feel like because I read the book, watching it, I wasn't as hyped as I would have been if it would have followed at least Ethan's reveal. That was the part where I was like, no. So I would give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Oh my gosh.
I would give the book a 3 out of 5. That was really good.
Not even a 3.5?
No. I mean, I think Anna...
I deleted my score because apparently it's not good enough.
I don't know.
No, I get you though.
I think it's just because I didn't really love Anna Fox.
Really? Okay.
No, I didn't really love her.
About this. You know what? You know why though? Because you didn't see her as Jesus like I did. You don't even. When we were talking, we barely talked about what we thought about this book.
Yeah.
But there was like that 2 seconds when we met like a few weeks ago, where I was like, "Is she Jesus?"
And I was like, "What?"
She's Jesus. You see it right now.
Okay, but I mean, now I see the connection because she was like, holding
and preaching, like the wise guy.
Yeah, I get it.
No, not the wise guy. Wise man.
Yeah.
Wise man. Sorry.
How dare you?
But like I just love the fact that it's like painting her as like pure and the one who knows the truth, but she's not. It's like, oh, she's so good. I love her.
Oh.
I love her so much.
Well, this is awkward.
I know. But Niles, what do you think?
I had 2 questions.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
She's just like, who's Anna Fox? We start from the beginning.
Did Ethan's dad know anything, or was he just...
he was covering him.
That's why he moved, because he didn't know what to do. He thought it was like, maybe it's a phase. He'll get over it.
It's fine. Yeah, so he knew everything.
Okay. The second question. How did Punch's paw break?
They never actually revealed it, but I think, well, at least not in the movie, but I think in the book it said that he stepped on it one night. Or at least it insinuated that Ethan stepped on his paw one night when he was sneaking in, but they never said it in the movie.
God, now that you bring up how the reveal for Ethan was.
It was so good. Oh, you know what else? Okay, I'm so sorry. I don't
Niles' thoughts.
I'm so sorry, Niles. Maybe this will change your thoughts. I don't know. So another thing. So in the book, the way that Anna survives is because she starts using her degree. So she starts telling, because Ethan doesn't know anything about his... So Alistair isn't his biological father in the book. So
wait.
Wait. Ethan doesn't know anything about his biological father, okay? And Anna starts lying to him. She starts telling him, yeah, your mom, she told me about him. And she's like, you liar, I don't believe you, because he's like trying to attack her. And she's like, no, yeah, she told me that he loves... And she starts listing things that her own husband and daughter loved. So I don't remember what it was specifically, but I think it was like, he loved car rides. He loved going to the beach on Sunday. I don't remember. He did. That forces Ethan to stop for a moment because he's like, oh my God, wait.
He loves car rides too?
Oh my God, me too. Wait, hold on. And then she's like, and she told me his name. And so that's the reason why she gained the upper hand over him. Because he stops, and that's when she, like, pushes him down the skylight.
Okay, I'm going to keep my scores at 3.5 because That's how I felt at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm not saying like change
That
it, but
book
like
sounds hella good. Oh my god. What? I need to read it.
I mean, she uses her degree in the book, just so you know.
Okay, well now knowing that, Niles, what is your score? And your overall thoughts?
I didn't watch it. And
True.
I didn't read it.
Oh, the reveal.
But the book it does sound more interesting. It's just by watching that one clip where Catherine gets stabbed.
Oh yeah,
I automatically thought that Ethan was
the one who did it. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you have 3 brain cells. We have
Also,
one.
no one likes
sharing.
it.
only because he's the only one there.
Yeah.
Besides the dad. And,
So process of elimination, right?
And the dad's suit is never dirty, and he only wears one
Yeah.
suit. So like, why?
Oh, true.
You know.
Oh my God, you're so
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah, and then the fact that what's your name? When
Jane?
Anna was like, oh, if my husband were still here, and I was like, were? Was? Past tense? It's dead.
He's dead.
Dead.
That man's fucking dead.
So I feel like for me it was too predictable.
No.
Mhm.
Okay. Maybe it was the way we told
I don't
it.
agree. I don't know.
it was for me.
I mean, we did say Jane.
Well, no one likes it. No one likes a good guesser, but I guess.
Okay, so your score, ma'am. Your score.
I would give it a 3.
That's pretty good.
Only because I really like the synopsis of it.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
The
Like,
vibes.
you guys told me
Do you think you're gonna watch it or read it?
I would rather read it.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. Oh my gosh, so let me change my score. So I would give the book a 3.5 because now I love it more. And I would give the movie a 2. A 2, yeah. I mean,
I'm embarrassed. I'll give mine. I'm gonna change my score. Can you imagine if Yelp had like an editing feature, but it always says like they changed their score? And it's like it does like a +1, -1, +1, -1. I'm gonna give it a 3.4. Because I still like it, but not that much. It's like just
that's
like a
really
little...
good too.
Wait, I'm embarrassed.
No,
I'm just giving it a 3.2. We're change it to a 3.2.
No, that's still good.
I like write in my the review, what's it called? Rotten Tomatoes review.
Uh-huh.
And I put like was a 3.4 but did get bullied and had to put a 3.2. I'm sorry. Don't tell my mom. Like, thank you.
My bad. Peer pressure, man.
I really do want to read the book though.
Yeah.
It does sound better.
That's really
I do
good.
believe that Anna was related to Jesus. Not like by relatives, but like by
blood.
association.
Uh-huh.
I think that she was Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it now.
I need to read the book and find evidence that she's Jesus.
I don't think there's
Every
any.
other word is like the Bible.
It's in the Bible.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh
god.
my God. Okay. Well,
I think we're done.
I think that pretty much sums up our thoughts on this movie and my
Mhm.
thoughts on the book. So, anything else you guys want to add?
Just that I'm sad.
I'm sorry. We didn't mean to bully you. I guess
No,
just
not.
me.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess
sure.
just me.
Okay, but thank you for watching our episode. We release every Monday,
Tuesday.
But thank you so much for joining us.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.